Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to journey with me into the heart of the Amazon rainforest, home to one of the most powerful and mysterious creatures on Earth, the mighty jaguar. The jaguar has always held a place of reverence in the cultural and spiritual life of the Amazon. For many indigenous communities, it is not simply an animal, but a living force that embodies strength, mystery, and divine power. The jaguar's silent movements through dense forest, its unmatched hunting skill, and its ability to thrive both on land and in water have inspired countless myths and legends that describe it as a bridge between the human world and the spiritual realm. Unlike many other animals, the jaguar is often regarded as a creature with supernatural qualities, one that commands respect and fear in equal measure. Its fiery eyes and sudden appearance in the depths of the jungle have led communities to believe that the jaguar sees not just the physical, but also the hidden truths of the soul. In Amazonian mythology, the jaguar frequently appears as a symbol of the night and the underworld. Its spotted coat is sometimes said to represent the stars scattered across the sky, linking the earthly jungle to the vastness of the cosmos. Shamans in several tribes believe that the spirit of the jaguar allows them to travel between worlds, guiding them during rituals and visions. The jaguar is seen as a protector of those who honor the forest, but also as a punisher of those who exploit it or disrespect its sacred balance. This dual role of guardian and destroyer captures the deep respect indigenous people hold for the animal, acknowledging both its power to give life and to take it away. The cultural significance of the jaguar extends into the art, stories, and ceremonies of Amazonian peoples. Carvings, pottery, and body paintings often feature jaguar motifs, each spot or pattern carrying symbolic meaning. Warriors sometimes identify themselves with the jaguar, believing its courage and ferocity in battle could be transferred to them. Masks and dances imitating the jaguar are part of traditional rituals, expressing a connection with the animal spirit. These practices highlight the belief that humans and animals share a spiritual bond, one where the jaguar is not merely admired from afar, but revered as a relative, teacher, and guide. Even beyond the Amazon, the jaguar has been celebrated as a divine figure across Central and South America. Civilizations such as the Maya and the Olmec considered the jaguar a godlike being, associating it with fertility, war, and kingship. In these cultures, rulers often took on jaguar titles or wore jaguar skins to symbolize their authority and their link to the divine. This widespread reverence across time and geography shows the universal awe the jaguar has inspired in human imagination. The jaguar's role in Amazonian beliefs is therefore more than symbolic. It represents a worldview where nature and spirit are inseparable, and where animals are not lesser beings, but powerful entities deserving of respect. To speak of the jaguar is to speak of the identity of the Amazon's people, their values, and their profound understanding of the natural world. The jaguar is more than just a striking symbol of the Amazon. It is also a vital component of the rainforest's delicate balance. As the apex predator of its environment, the jaguar sits at the top of the food chain, regulating the populations of numerous species and maintaining harmony within the ecosystem. Without it, the Amazon would quickly lose the equilibrium that has allowed it to thrive for thousands of years. The jaguar's presence is a reminder of how interconnected every creature is, from the smallest insect to the towering trees, and how one species can shape the destiny of an entire landscape. One of the most significant ways the jaguar contributes to ecological stability is by controlling populations of herbivores such as deer, peccaries, and capybaras. These animals feed heavily on plants, fruits, and saplings. If their numbers were left unchecked, they could overgraze and destroy the young vegetation that is essential for forest regeneration. By preying on these herbivores, the jaguar prevents such overconsumption, ensuring that the forest can continue to renew itself and provide shelter and food for countless other species. This role as a regulator makes the jaguar a keystone species, one whose impact reaches far beyond its immediate prey. In addition to shaping plant life indirectly, the jaguar also influences the behavior of other animals. The presence of such a powerful predator creates what ecologists call a landscape of fear, where prey species alter their feeding patterns and movement to avoid danger. This shifting behavior reduces overuse of certain habitats, giving plant communities time to recover and allowing smaller animals to thrive. In this way, the jaguar shapes not only who survives, but also how animals live within the rainforest. The balance it enforces promotes diversity and strengthens the resilience of the ecosystem. The jaguar's hunting habits also contribute to maintaining the health of prey populations. By often targeting the weaker, older, or sick individuals, it prevents the spread of disease and ensures that the strongest genes are passed on to the next generation. This natural selection improves the overall fitness of prey species, keeping populations robust and adaptable. The jaguar's role here is not one of destruction, but of refinement, preserving the vitality of the forest's wildlife. Beyond animals, the jaguar's influence extends to the very structure of the Amazon. The survival of countless plant species depends on the animals that disperse their seeds. When jaguars regulate herbivore populations, they indirectly support this process. Healthy plant diversity attracts pollinators, stabilizes the soil, and contributes to the rainforest's ability to capture carbon and regulate the Earth's climate. Thus, the jaguar's presence is not only important locally, but has implications for global environmental health. The jaguar embodies the interconnectedness of life in the Amazon. It is not simply a predator, but a steward of balance, ensuring that no species dominates at the expense of another. Its strength and stealth are not just tools for survival, but forces that sustain the health of the forest, making it one of the most essential guardians of the natural world. The jaguar, once roaming freely across much of the Americas, now faces mounting threats that endanger its survival, particularly in the Amazon, where it has long been regarded as a symbol of strength and balance. The most pressing danger comes from deforestation, which continues at an alarming pace. Vast stretches of rainforest are cleared every year to make way for agriculture, cattle ranching, logging, and mining. This destruction not only erases the jaguar's natural habitat, but also fragments the forest, cutting populations into isolated groups. Jaguars require large territories to hunt and reproduce, and when forests are broken into smaller patches, they are unable to travel, find mates, or maintain healthy genetic diversity. This fragmentation often forces jaguars into closer contact with human settlements, where conflict becomes inevitable. Hunting adds another layer of threat. Although jaguars are protected by law in many countries, illegal hunting still persists. Some are killed for their striking pelts, others for their teeth and bones, which have found demand in black markets. In rural areas, jaguars are often shot by farmers and ranchers who view them as threats to livestock. This conflict is fueled by the shrinking forest that pushes jaguars into farmlands in search of food. Even when they are not directly hunted, the fear of jaguars leads to indiscriminate killings that further diminish their already vulnerable numbers. Each death is not just the loss of a single animal, but a disruption to the ecological balance that depends on their presence. Habitat loss, hunting, and human conflict together create a cycle that weakens the jaguar's chance of survival. As their territory shrinks, prey becomes scarce, forcing jaguars to roam farther and risk more encounters with people. Younger jaguars often cannot find their own hunting grounds, leading to starvation or dangerous competition. In addition, road construction through forested areas introduces new dangers, as jaguars are struck by vehicles or cut off from their traditional migration routes. The quiet but steady encroachment of human infrastructure chips away at the spaces jaguars need to thrive. Climate change further intensifies these threats. Shifts in rainfall and rising temperatures alter the delicate ecosystems of the Amazon, affecting both plant growth and animal populations. Flooding or prolonged droughts can displace jaguars from their territories, while fires, often linked to human activity, destroy habitats that may take decades to regenerate. In a forest where everything is interconnected, The loss of jaguars is not just the loss of one species, but the unraveling of a system that depends on balance. The jaguar's plight highlights the profound impact of human activity on wildlife. It is not a species endangered by natural predators, but by human expansion and exploitation. Every tree felled, every illegal hunt, every stretch of land converted into farmland chips away at its chance to survive. Once the ruler of the rainforest, the jaguar now finds itself struggling to endure in an environment it once dominated with ease. Its survival hangs in the balance, threatened not by nature, but by the very force that should be most capable of protecting it. The jaguar is more than just a powerful predator. It is a guardian of the Amazon's biodiversity and an emblem of the forest's health. Protecting this species is not only about saving one animal, but about preserving the intricate web of life that sustains the largest rainforest on Earth. As the apex predator, the jaguar's presence ensures that balance is maintained among countless species. Without it, populations of prey could explode, vegetation could suffer, and the delicate cycle of regeneration could collapse. Conservation of the jaguar, therefore, is inseparable from the conservation of the Amazon itself, and by extension, from the well-being of our planet. Efforts to conserve jaguars begin with the protection of their habitat. The Amazon is under relentless pressure from deforestation, agriculture, and development. Yet vast areas of it still remain intact. Safeguarding these regions through the establishment of national parks, reserves, and wildlife corridors provides jaguars the space they need to roam and thrive. Corridors are particularly important as they connect fragmented patches of forest, allowing jaguars to move freely, find mates, and maintain genetic diversity. Without these connections, isolated populations risk decline and eventual extinction. Protecting large, continuous areas of rainforest ensures not only the survival of the jaguar, but also the preservation of thousands of species that share its home. Another crucial aspect of conservation is working with local communities who live alongside jaguars. For many rural families, jaguars are seen as threats to livestock, leading to conflict and killing. Conservation programs that introduce coexistence strategies, such as improved livestock management and compensation for losses, help reduce this tension. Involving local people in conservation efforts not only protects jaguars, but also provides communities with sustainable alternatives, from ecotourism to forest stewardship. When people see that the survival of the jaguar brings value to their own lives, the chances of long-term protection increase dramatically. Law enforcement and education also play an essential role. Stricter action against illegal hunting and trade is necessary to prevent jaguars from being killed for their skins, teeth, or bones. At the same time, spreading awareness about the jaguar's ecological importance can change perceptions, turning fear into respect and hostility into protection. Schools, media, and cultural initiatives can all contribute to creating a sense of pride in the jaguar as a symbol of natural heritage. The more people understand that the health of the Amazon depends on the survival of its top predator, the stronger the movement for conservation will become. The call to conserve jaguars is ultimately a call to conserve the Amazon. Every step taken to protect this magnificent animal safeguards clean air, fresh water, and the stability of the global climate. The jaguar stands as a living reminder that the future of humanity is bound to the future of nature. To ensure that generations to come can witness the silent grace and power of the jaguar, we must act with urgency, determination, and respect for the forest it calls home.